Hey everyone and welcome back to a new video of the new Byte. My name is Halcest here and today we want to talk about Anno 1800. So Anno 1800 is a title that finally goes back again into the past after the last two installments, Anno 2070 and Anno 2205, were playing in the future. Now we're gonna go back to the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century and there's gonna be some interesting changes to what we've known so far. What remains though is we're going to that island with a ship, we start a settlement, from then on we create a new world. That has not changed much. Is it fun though? Let's find out. So, as I said before, in Anno 1800 we have much more things to explore again, of course, building our city, advancing further through more layers of society and all that. That is just the core mechanic of the game, and I love it. I actually never played one of the future titles, because I stopped playing after Anno 1404, I think. Been playing Anno 1602 and 1503. I think, yeah, 1503, for long times, when it was back on the, I think, Windows XP systems, and gosh darn, was I in love with that. Actually, last year I played a little bit of Anno 1602 back, and I noticed how fairly, limited the game is compared to the later titles, and how easy it was to basically create a very stable settlement and later city with aristocrats and everything. And I quickly ran out of things to do besides doing war maybe against other parties in my session. Now with Anno 1800 this game was of course much more sophisticated, and through the years of progress the developers behind Byte actually put in a lot of stuff to the game as well. So in the beta that I played, I actually had only a fairly limited time, around 2 hours, until I had to go to sleep because I was doing so many things this weekend to play. But nonetheless, I wanted to also try out, of course, this game. So what was my findings? Well, I gotta say, I really still like Anno. And especially with the back to the past thingy, that's very cool what you can see there. And let's just look into some details here. So if you zoom in into the game, there's actually a fairly good level that you can zoom into and watch just the different workers and farmers just doing the things. And there's even lots of avatars that talk to you in a very nice looking graphic style, which I really like. It has some style with the artworks of the past, like the 19th century, and I find it really charming overall, especially since they're talking to me. And at one chance I even had a farmer's house open up and the lady was singing to me a little song, just like a few phrases, but still it was actually quite fun. As usual, you start out, you build your first farmers' houses, your woodworkers, maybe even some ships that can catch some fish for you. And as you progress more and more, the more people you get and the more material you gather, of course you can also further advance the farmers into workers and so on. You probably know the deal by now. That base formula has not changed much. What has changed though is of course the way how you interact with the other people that are around you, and of course also with the population that you created yourself.
I wouldn't like to say. Left ahead? What's your trick? Where did you say you...
There's now a newspaper system where you can be the main editor before it goes out to the public, and it actually influences also how happy the people are, even if taxes may be a little bit too high. There's some interesting articles that are sort of pre-done by the editor, and you can pick which one you want to put out on the newspaper. Of course, this also means censorship, and will also have negative side effects, probably in the future, but in the limited playtime that I had so far, it was just positive. Just some remarks of the main editor that were said to me, but well, I didn't feel too bad about that right away. Also interesting are tourists now. Something that I found very interesting, because now it makes much more sense not only to take care of the city, to have the nice arrangements and also parks which make the happiness of the people that live in the city just better. You also have tourists coming around and actually spending some more money. So tourism is now an actual valuable factor which will help you to further progress in your game and which will prevent you from going bankrupt. Take a little bush here, a little bit of matters there inside of the more larger streets, and voila, your happiness level is gaining. And of course, the visitors that are coming around, the tourists, are actually also more likely to spend more money in your city. But of course, you not only need to make your city look nice, also the industrial side of the city needs to be improved as well. You need to not only produce stuff and make money, you also need to make it look good, but if you only go for the good looks, you are not profitable enough on the industrialization side. So keep the balance up and keep changing and keep the city growing while also making it look beautiful. That's a really interesting challenge in itself. And of course, if your people aren't happy and the tourists aren't happy, not much money will come out from both sides, either through taxes or, well, of course, tourism itself. The third and last thing that is really cool and new is a blueprinting system. This may not be new for many other games, but you can basically just set down a placeholder for the actual building that you want to build later. For example, you need more stone to build a church and you have everything else, but just not that one pile of stone, for example. You can put it already there where you want it, so you don't forget the place and accidentally build it with something else. And you can just click on the button and it will be built automatically once everything will be there. So that is very nice for planning your city. You can also rearrange everything so far, just like with a rebuilding, but it has not been built yet, and so there's no cost coming at you right away. Last thing that I personally noted was also the use of quests by your co-players if you try to lure them into a trading agreement. And I gotta say, it takes quite a while to get your partners to be friendly with you, and if you don't keep up with them, they sort of fall out of love with you and the standing towards you will get worse again at times even. Quite interesting, and sometimes the things that you have to do are even conflicting. If you just want to build and don't want to go too much into your naval side, for example, so you have a fleet that you can attack ships with, you can't do certain quests and have to deny them actually, and that again will lead to a worse standing with certain people. I actually quite like that, and it's not just as easy as to click a button and open a new trade agreement. You actually have to work towards that goal, and once you have done that, well, then you can actually flourish more and trade your stuff that you already produce on your island, for example. Though it is still worth also just getting quests done, because you can actually get lots of money from that, which will keep you going if you're sort of not that profitable in the city far away. I, for example, had in my demo play time the issue that I was slowly but surely running out of money, and just through the quests alone I was able to get at least some investment back into the city and keep it running. But in the long term, I definitely should have just invested more into the profitability of my city instead of just trying to do everything at once just so I can explore all the things that I knew in Anno 1800. But that has been it actually from my impressions so far of Anno 1800. The game will come out in April of this year, not in February anymore. It has been delayed by a few weeks, and I gotta say, yeah, it's interesting, and I hope that the game will come out will find lots of love from all the players. I personally think February, March are already quite soft already with the months. I'm actually thankful just from that standpoint that Anno will come out in April, so I have something else to play in April instead of right away when games like The Division 2 and Anthem have slowed down for a little bit at least, and so I have more time to play other games like Anno 1800. And I'm definitely looking forward to play it again. That has been it here for the new Byte. My name is Housest. I hope you liked this little impressions video that I did for Anno 1800. Follow us, of course, also on Twitter and Facebook if you want to. We're also on Instagram. And we can also be talked to on Discord. Just go to thenewbyte.com/Discord if you want to have a little chat with us about news, stuff that we posted and everything. Of course, with other guys like Danny and Emily will also do their new stuff coming soon again. So I'm not the only person on this channel, trust me. But of course, I'll see you again in the next video. Have a nice day and talk to you soon.